is not the most flattering angle. You can see all my chins. That's okay. Good morning. It is just before 9 o'clock. You can see there on my wall clock there. That will have pictures around it soon-ish. I went to a big like antique store and I found a couple of really cute picture frames. Like I want to do picture frames around my clock, and I want them to be like all like relatively the same size, but all a little different. And the lady wouldn't sell them to me because they didn't have any like verification stickers on them, and she's like, well, we don't know, we can't, I can't put anything in the computer, like they need to be reprocessed and put tags on them. And I'm like, fine, whatever, like, okay, I get it. So anyway, why did I start off this video with that? I don't know, because I feel like I need to explain my clock up there and why it's just random and has no numbers around it. Today is Tuesday the 17th, and I'm sorry, I've been meaning to do a little update. It seems like every day I just don't have time, and I'm trying to get better at time management. Like, that's just something I'm constantly working on, because I'm going to bring you in a little closer, just in case you can't get out here. Just in case you can't hear me too well. I've been trying to work on time management. That's part of this whole process, because it just always seems like I'm rushing around, running out of time, have no time to do anything. Trying to work on being prepared like the night before. And I'll do really well for like a day, and then the next day it all falls apart. That's what I'm going through today, because Sunday night I was like, I didn't make my smoothie for the next day, but I got all the ingredients together. I put my coconut milk in the fridge, like it comes in a can. My can of coconut milk in the fridge. I measured out 2 cups of water, put that in the fridge. I got all my dry ingredients together and just put it right in the blender, put the lid on the blender, and I stuck it on the stand, and, so everything was ready to go. And so in the morning, I just had to throw everything together, blend it up, and I was good to go. I've been trying to do smoothies in the morning. It's been working out pretty well, because I'm also trying to walk in the morning, so it's just something portable that I can take with me and just stick in the car, and I can drink it right after my walk. I haven't been walking in the mornings, I'll be honest. Again, it just seems like I've been so tired and I just don't wake up on time, and I need to get back into it, because I was really enjoying it. So yesterday I was so prepared, but then it was my super busy day, my long day. I have a house that I do. I actually looked it up. I was like, I need to look up how big this is. It's like over 4,200 square feet, the whole house. And I clean the whole house, and I do extra stuff for her. Like yesterday I shampooed her whole living room, and like the carpet. That sounds weird. I shampooed her whole living room. I shampooed the carpet for her, but her carpet machine wasn't working right, and it was just like kind of a hassle. It was anxiety producing, because then I had to go and tell her like, hey, I don't think this is working. And I was like, oh my god, is she gonna blame me? And said like, you did something. It's a whole thing. So I did not get done. I started work at my first house yesterday at 9:15, and I did not get home till 9 o'clock. And it was pretty much like probably 10 straight hours of just cleaning. I was exhausted. I am always super exhausted on my long Monday. And so when I got home, I had dinner planned out, but my husband actually went to his friend's house and he ate over there. So I didn't have to cook like a full meal. I only had to take care of myself. And trust me, the idea of going to fast food on the way home definitely crossed my mind. But I didn't do it. I wanted to um I wanted to stop at like the drugstore or whatever and just get like I wanted I was like, I'm gonna eat a whole box of Hot Pockets and a whole can of soup and this and that. Like, I was like so hungry and so just grumpy, exhausted, annoyed, irritated, like all these emotions that usually result in me medicating and soothing myself with food. But I was like, you know what? It's so late. By the time I get to the store and by the time I get home, my husband will be home. And then because my plan was to secretly binge. That was my plan. Because I was like, oh, I have some time where my husband's not going to be home because he was at a friend's house. They were watching a hockey game. Um, but he decided to leave at 9. So he was going to be home a little sooner than I thought. And so I was like, you know what? I have plenty of junk at home that I could eat. So I came home and I threw in a frozen French bread pizza, just a single size, not a whole pizza, but a single French bread pizza in the oven. And I made some rice noodles are like one of my favorite things to eat. Just the texture of them, I don't know, it just like I could eat a bowl full of rice noodles every single day, and they're so easy to make. So I just threw some rice noodles in a pot of boiling water for a couple minutes, and then just put them in a bowl with just a little bit of soy sauce, and it was delicious. So I had that, and I had my pizza. Definitely not healthy. And what else did I have? Oh, I had a couple bites of ice cream. I like, oh, I don't want to admit this. I bought I do it's hard because my husband still enjoys his snacks. And it's hard when me I'm trying to be healthy, but he has no real desire to be healthy. I mean, he is healthy. He's one of these guys. I mean, he's just got good genes. He just was never naturally overweight. He did go through a period when he first met me, of course. In the first couple years where he did gain some weight, he got up over 200 pounds. He's about 5'9", not super tall. Um, so he was pretty hefty, but then he lost it. Actually, lately, I looked at him yesterday. I'm like, you're looking really thin. Like, he usually hovers around like 180, and he always has like a bit of a belly. And I'm like, have you weighed yourself lately? He got on the scale. This MFer weighed 173 pounds. I was like, how are you losing weight? But he just doesn't have a problem with food. Like, he doesn't have like he's like, I don't know, I don't really eat that much. Like, I haven't been eating a lot. Like, he just he definitely snacks on junk food, but he can have a bag of chips and like I've said before, like it will go stale before he finishes it. And that's something that like never happens to me ever. So anyway, so sometimes like when it's still hard because like when I go to the drugstore and stuff, he's like, oh, can you get me this? Can you get me chips? Can you get me candy? So it can be really hard when you're trying to be on this health food journey, but your husband or your partner is not. It can be really tough. So I was like, I could go for some ice cream. I love ice cream. Honestly, don't have it all that often. Once every couple months, maybe we'll get some ice cream. And Haagen-Dazs was on sale, buy two get one free, and I'm like, oh well, that's perfect. Like the pint size. So I got a Rocky Road for me. Don't really like Rocky Road, but all like the good flavors were gone. Like I would love some cookie dough, but chocolate chip cookie dough, the best. Um, so I decided to get Rocky Road because it has marshmallow in it, and I enjoy that. And then I got him this like triple chocolate. It had like white chocolate, which he loves white chocolate. And I was like, oh, I've never seen white chocolate ice cream. Like, that's so cool. So it had like white chocolate, milk chocolate, and then like this dark chocolate, like, like swirl in the middle, like of actual chocolate. And I also just got a pint of strawberry because he loves strawberry. And I like strawberry too. Well, let's just say the chocolate one, the chocolate, it's like triple chocolate, whatever one, and the strawberry one were still in the dang freezer untouched, while the Rocky Road one did not make it past one night. I ate the entire thing, and to be honest, I have been pretty good about not just sitting down and eating a full pint of ice cream in one sitting. um, I'll usually, well, at least I'll do half and half. Like, it'll make half a night. Um, and I try to get the last past few times that we had ice cream. I try to get like the Halo tops or whatever, like the diet ice cream that's like ice water. It's like iced skim milk. But I mean, but it does the job. It's still, tastes fine, and it still satisfies that craving, so it's fine. But since the Haagen-Dazs was on sale, I just got like real Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Anyway, so yeah, I ate a whole pint of ice cream this week. Yeah, and you know what? Let me just get to the good part though. The miraculous thing that I'm like, how did that even happen? I've lost weight. The past couple of times that I've checked in, I'm pretty sure I was like 247. I think I was 247 the last time, because I dropped down to 245, and then I went back up to 247. I was like stuck at 247. Um, I weighed in yesterday at 244, and I was like, how did that happen? How did I lose those 3 pounds? Because I've not been eating that great. I have been trying, so maybe I'm eating enough like healthier stuff versus junk that it's kind of like evening out. I don't know. And I have been trying to walk in the mornings, but the past couple weeks I've only gotten out there like 1 or 2 mornings. This week so far, yesterday I didn't, today I didn't. I didn't wake up today till almost 8 o'clock. Like, that's super late for me. I was so tired. But I ran into an issue this morning. Like, I woke up and I was like, ugh, because I was so tired last night, I didn't prepare anything like I did the day before. So I was like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't feel like making a smoothie, because now first of all, I have to figure out what smoothie I'm making. Second of all, I have to get all the ingredients. I have to blend it up. I have to do this. I have to do that. So I was like, I don't feel like doing that. I don't have anything prepared. And then I meant to mention the other thing I did yesterday, which I was like, good job, me. Um, I, so I had my breakfast out ready to go, but I still, lunch is like the bane of my existence. It's just, I cannot come up with a good way to have a halfway decent lunch that's convenient, that tastes good, that satisfies me, that I can eat in my car. And I was like, oh, well, you know what? I'm just going to do a smoothie for breakfast, and I'll make one for lunch. I'll freeze it, and I'll have a smoothie for lunch. I do not know why I keep thinking I can have a shake or smoothie for lunch, and I'm not going to stop somewhere and get something else. Like, I don't know what, because, like, you get it in your head, like, when you're starting a diet or starting a weight loss plan, you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to force myself to do this. I'm absolutely 100% going to do this. It never works out. It never, like, when I get to that, I'm like a defiant child. I'm not doing that, and stomps away. Like, I'm like not for it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just I get so motivated. I'm like, I'm just going to drink a smoothie for lunch, breakfast and lunch every day, and I don't care. I'm going to ignore all my hunger cues. I'm going to ignore the voices in my head. It never works. So I'm like going back to I need to eat a decent lunch. I need to eat a decent lunch. And I need to make time so that even if I'm sitting in my car and eating, which is not ideal, but I mean, it would be nice if I could like go to a park or something and sit at a picnic table, but I don't always have time to do that. And there's not always a park nearby that's convenient to do that at. That wasn't proper English, but anyway. Um, so I'm like the logical answer is give yourself enough time. Get to your first house early enough that you have enough time, enough enough time between houses that you can at least eat without driving. Because that was the thing is like if I'm the only time I have to eat is going from one house to the other, and it needs to be something that I can eat with one hand. I'm like watching the clock as I'm doing this. I wanted to be done by 9. We'll see if I get there. Um, I need to be able to eat while driving, and so it really limited me. And I was like, I don't want to do sandwiches. And I've tried so many sandwich variations that didn't include bread. Like I did lettuce wraps, which were good, but they're like messy. And I did, you know, like tried like to do gluten free, like I did the gluten free tortilla wraps, and they were disgusting. And like you know what I mean, like it was always something that. And I tried to just make like little mini sandwiches using cucumber slices, and again, like they were good, but it was like messy because the cucumber holds a lot of water. So like I had cucumber, I put I'll put the hummus on the cucumber, make like a little sandwich out of it, and it just like it liquefied because the cucumbers are so full of water and so juicy. So I don't know why I felt like saying that weird. So lunch has just frustrated me from the beginning, and then yesterday, I don't know, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make just a salad. So last minute in the morning, I threw together the salad, just a handful of spinach, about a quarter of a cucumber chopped up. I threw in some, like in a little separate container, I threw in some dried cranberries and almond slices and some hemp seeds, and then I made a quick Dijon like vinaigrette dressing, just a little bit of Dijon mustard, a little bit of honey, olive oil, and apple cider vinegar. Whip that up, throw it all together in a container, and then I grab in like a bag. I had everything separate out. Oh, and I did like can of just like chicken, like canned chicken. Yeah, it's just canned chicken, right? You know what I mean. Um, I threw a can of chicken in a container, which I mean, canned chicken's not like the best, but it works. And I put that together, and I had time in between my houses, and I just sat in my car and I enjoyed my salad. I also had an apple, and it was so good. It was so tasty, and I was like, this was a great idea. And I was like, I can do this every day. Why can't I do this every day? Because I'm just that type of person when I find something that works, I don't mind doing the same thing every single day if it works. So that's why I did really well, and then I kind of fell apart in the evening as I'm sitting there eating my French bread pizza and noodles. But you know, you win some, you lose some. At this point, I'm happy with that. So this morning, I'm like, God, I'm right back to not being prepared. What am I gonna do? I don't have anything prepared. And then like there's just a voice in my head, this like authoritative voice takes over my head and was like, What are you talking about? You're making excuses. Because I was really close to throwing another French bread pizza in the oven this morning for breakfast. And I'm like, it takes less time. Just whip up a couple of eggs than it does to make a French bread pizza. Like, stop being lazy. Stop making excuses. Like, you can do it. You can do it. Just use your brain. It's not an emergency. Like, no, you're not prepared, but you still have options. Like, so I did that. I had a couple eggs, and I did decide to make toast. My husband, bless his little heart, he loves to bring home the bread butts, the bread heels, the bread ends, whatever the crust of the ends of the bread from work because they don't use them. Like when they use bread to like make sandwiches and stuff for the kids, they don't use the ends of the bread. So there's like whole loaves worth of bread, and he brings them home because he does not like to be wasteful and he figures he can use them for something else. So every school year, my countertop is always just a mound of half bags of bread ends. Um, a lot of times we'll throw them out for the birds. I know bread is actually not that good for birds, but please, like, listen, we have shitty birds around here. Okay, I love them. I still think they're beautiful. We have plenty of bird feeders, but there's a billion of them, of these like pest birds, as my father would call them. It's not like they're exotic parrots or like bluebirds or like they're just crappy like blackbirds and just regular old generic birds that there's an overpopulation of. So I do not feel guilty throwing some crust of bread out there to feed them. Okay? Like, let's just get over that. I do still love the birds though. I do like we put bird food out. I enjoy watching them eat. But there's like it's not like these common yard birds are going extinct. You know, like if they eat some bread, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. So, um, so we'll throw it outside. But like, even though I'm trying to avoid bread, I was like, well, I can have, let me just have some toast. So I made a couple pieces of toast using the bread butts, and excuse me, and with just a little bit of butter, and I made a couple eggs. They were easy. That's my favorite way. And I break the yolk, and it goes all over the toast, and it's so good. It's delicious. So I had that for breakfast, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make another salad. I don't care. I'm gonna make another salad. It's not gonna be perfect. My measuring spoons are in the sink, so I can't measure out my like. I mean, of course, I could take the time to wash it, but I'm not that unlazy. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna eyeball it as far as like making the dressing, and so I had the exact same thing. And I was like, see, there you go. You made another salad for lunch. Now you don't have an excuse of, oh, well, I didn't have time. I wasn't prepared. I didn't make anything. You threw together a salad. I think I have an orange sitting up there that I can also take, and you'll be good. So I'm proud of myself for making the effort, not being so lazy. And even when I'm in a situation where I'm like, sorry, I keep like burping and it's gross. Um, Even if I'm in a situation where I'm not prepared, I don't know what to make, I don't know what to like I have to take a step back and remind myself like you have options. You still have options. You, the only option you don't have is going to fast food. Like you cannot choose that option, but you can choose any other option. So, Anyway, it's after 9 now, so I better get ready to head to work. This update was kind of rambling and all over the place, and I apologize for that. But yeah, so still in it, still doing good, still, it's not going as fast and I'm not doing perfectly and still eating junk now and then, but I am trying. I'm trying really hard, and that's all I can do is just keep trying. And if I try something and it doesn't work out, I go, okay, well, let's just try something else and see what works. So um, I will try to update you again very soon. And thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.